Welcome back to The Explainer. Now, if you are someone who generally looks totally capable, highly functioning, and, completely responsible from the outside, but privately you feel this intense wave of dread or just physical dysregulation before your workday even truly begins, well, this explainer is going to be incredibly validating for you. Today, we are looking at a highly relatable and, let's be honest, intensely frustrating phenomenon: work threshold dread.
Let's start with a phrase we found repeatedly in the source data. I open the laptop and my body says no. It's incredibly visceral, isn't it? Before a single email is even answered, before any real task or conflict actually exists, your body is already throwing up a roadblock. If you've been feeling this, you know exactly how jarring it is when your own physical reality is actively resisting your daily routine.
So, that brings us to the central question we're going to deconstruct today. Why does work feel so heavy before it even begins? It's fascinating, right? Because your body tightens up before there's any measurable evidence of a problem. Think about it. You haven't made a mistake, you haven't failed at a task, yet that heaviness is already there, literally weighing you down before your fingers even hit the keyboard.
If you are nodding your head right now, I really need you to know you are absolutely not alone. The data on this is actually staggering. The latest 30-day pattern reports identify what's being called the laptop dread spike loop as the single strongest, highest signal sub-pattern for people experiencing a loss of self-recognition right now. This is a massive, measurable trend. You aren't imagining things, and you for sure aren't the only one feeling it.
Now, when we experience this dread, what do we usually do? We blame ourselves. We think, oh, I'm just lazy, or I've lost my edge, or I just don't have any motivation. But the sources are crystal clear on this absolutely vital reframe. It is not motivation, it's a sequence. It's a highly predictable, mechanical sequence happening right within your nervous system. It's like a row of dominoes you didn't even know you knocked over. That bracing feeling you get staring at the screen, it's not a character flaw, it's a mechanism.
To really understand this sequence, we're going to use Wisdom-du-Jour's TAM framework. It breaks things down into 4 clear steps. Step 1, the trigger. Step 2, adaptation. Step 3, cost. And finally, Step 4, mastery. By looking at this non-diagnostically, we can step out of all that internal chaos and just start looking at the experience as pattern data. We're moving away from self-blame and into a structural understanding.
Okay, let's dive into this. Step 1, the trigger. This is when a cue lands on a low-margin system.
Now, what I found so fascinating in the data is that this trigger isn't necessarily your job itself or even a difficult boss. It's the simple cue of work hitting a system that is already running on empty. Let's look at what these common triggers actually are. It might be simply the physical act of the laptop opening. It could be watching the little icon spin as your inbox loads, physically sitting down at your desk, or just the anticipatory demand. That sinking feeling that today is about to ask for way more capacity than you currently have. Your body reads these specific work contexts as imminent pressure, creating an anticipatory spike before you've started typing a single word. And that brings us right to Step 2, adaptation. This is all about preserving function, not failing.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it completely flips our perspective. When that anticipatory spike hits, our immediate reactions are so often misunderstood by ourselves as just outright failures. But we need to redefine these exact behaviors. Hovering over the mouse, delaying opening that next application, rereading the exact same paragraph 3 times, physically bracing yourself, or just trying really hard to look normal. We judge these actions so harshly, but the framework shows us that these are actually highly intelligent protective behaviors. They are adaptive attempts meant to preserve your competence and keep a low-margin system operational. You aren't breaking down, you are intelligently adapting to a severe lock of margin.
However, while those adaptations do keep you functioning, they definitely are not free. That leads us to Step 3, the hidden cost. And the subtitle says it all: shame gets there first.
The immediate consequence of this entire loop is that simple, totally ordinary tasks stop feeling simple. The entire workday gets filtered through this heavy lens of pressure way earlier than it ever should, making proportional effort feel literally impossible. And here is the real hidden cost. Self-trust erodes before the day properly begins. Because no obvious measurable catastrophe has happened yet, nobody yelled at you, you didn't drop a major ball, we misread this internal bracing as a personal failing. You haven't even messed up a project, but you already feel like you're failing, causing your trust in yourself to just plummet right out of the gate. So let's move to our final step, Step 4, mastery. Naming the sequence early.
Mastery, in this context, isn't about suddenly forcing yourself to perform flawlessly or pretending the dread doesn't exist through sheer willpower. It's about treating this anticipatory spike as neutral pattern data rather than damning evidence about your character. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we make that shift. On the left side, we have those typical shame questions we always ask ourselves. Why am I like this? What is wrong with me? Why can't I handle basic work? But on the right side, we replace those with dignity-preserving TAM questions. What set this off? How did I keep going despite the low margin? What did it actually cost? This shifts the entire internal narrative away from a massive identity crisis and into an objective, structural evaluation. Now, before we move forward, I do need to place a very firm guardrail here. TAM is an explanation, not a medical diagnosis. The source material is very explicit about this, and it's absolutely crucial to remember. This framework explains a highly common, recognizable behavioral pattern, but it doesn't claim to be the single root cause, nor is it proof of burnout, trauma, ADHD, or a hormone imbalance. We are strictly looking at sequence mapping to help your daily routine, not medicalizing your morning.
So the crucial point is, what do you actually do with this information? Well, the sources suggest taking one honest, small next step by using Wisdom-du-Jour's free 2-minute pattern map. It gives you a plain language summary of your pattern, identifies one likely pressure source, provides one clear sentence you can actually use to explain it to a doctor or a partner without sounding overly dramatic, and gives you one 5 to 10 minute relief action you can try immediately.
What I absolutely love about this is how beautifully low friction it is. No diagnosis, no complicated account maze, just a quick reflection map today. It is exactly what an exhausted system needs. It acts as a completely safe, light bridge to help you map your specific trigger without any heavy product pressure or overwhelming commitments. It's designed to be a fast, simple tool to help you see the sequence clearly without adding just another daunting task to your already full plate.
Which leaves us with this final, honestly pretty powerful question. Will you map the sequence before shame decides what it means? You have the opportunity to take back control of your morning narrative right now. Don't let the dread write a false story about your capability. Take the free pattern map, name the sequence, and reclaim your workday. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this helps you open that laptop with just a little more clarity today.